Under my leadership, we'll produce a vaccine in record time. Biden and his very liberal running mate, the most liberal person in Congress, by the way, is not a competent person, in my opinion, would destroy this country and would destroy this economy, should immediately apologize for the reckless anti-vaccine rhetoric that they are talking right now.
President Trump calling on Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to apologize for their comments about the coronavirus vaccine. And this comes after Harris said she would not trust any vaccine rolled out by the Trump administration. Watch.
I would not trust his word. I would trust the word of public health experts and scientists, but not Donald Trump.
But do you trust that in the situation where we're in now, that the public health experts and the scientists will get the last word on the efficacy of a vaccine?
If past is prologue, that they will not. They'll be muzzled. They'll be suppressed. They will be sidelined.
And then Biden tried to clean up some of those comments yesterday when he had this discussion about the vaccine, saying it should be above politics. Here's that.
I want full transparency on the vaccine. One of the problems is the way he's playing with politics is he said so many things that aren't true. I'm worried if we do have a really good vaccine, people are going to be reluctant to take it. And so he's undermining public confidence. But pray God we have it. If I could get a vaccine tomorrow, I'd do it. If it would cost me the election, I'd do it.
Joining us to discuss is Jim Renacci, former U.S. Congressman of Ohio, 16th District, and Laurie A. Watkins, former Obama advisor. Thank you both for coming on. Jim, I'll start with you on this. We have officially entered political season here with these recent comments and more.
Well, absolutely. And talk about undermining, public confidence. Look, we're in a pandemic. I applaud the president for doing everything he can to get a vaccine and getting all agencies and all outsiders pushing toward this vaccine. I think it's important. And by the way, the president won't be the one that's saying, hey, the vaccine is okay. There'll be public health officials that'll be saying the vaccine is fine. And I think whether you're Republican or Democrat, independent, whatever, we should be all hoping that we can get a vaccine as soon as possible and as quickly as possible, and also a safe vaccine to make sure that the health and safety of our communities and our residents and our country is available so we can continue to grow this economy, which has been done, prior to the pandemic.
Laurie, do you agree with that? Do we need to everyone needs to be hopeful that we get a vaccine out there as quick as possible?
We need a vaccine that is safe, that is going to do the job, that has been regulated, that has been put through all of the tests, through the proper studies showing that the efficacy is there and that it will in fact work. I think that's what the public is looking for as far as whether they're going to trust the government and what they're saying. Donald Trump, at this very current moment, he does unfortunately run and have a lot of influence over those agencies and CDC and health experts at the moment that have, as we've seen, have been extremely contradictory at times. We just saw the CEO of Pfizer came out along with 28 other CEOs of medical drug companies and manufacturers saying and signing onto a letter saying that they will not be pushed around by this president or anyone pushing them to release something before it is due time, meaning they do not want to compromise the efficacy of it and harm people in the process. They don't want to be responsible for litigation down the road either of harming people when this vaccine wasn't ready. So I will be looking to the CDC experts. I will be looking to scientists. I will be looking to those health officials that say when it's ready, it's ready. And that is where I think the important part comes in of educating the consumer, the patients, the American people, that in fact it is safe to administer this vaccine and that it will help the American public so the people can get back to work, kids can get back to school.
You bring up a great point. Everyone wants to take a vaccine that's safe, and I believe the president has been on record many times saying that that's exactly what they're going to be looking at, and this is how it's moving. These recent vaccines are moving through phase 3 in Operation Warp Speed. Jim, your thoughts on that?
Well, first off, if the vaccine was ready today, we wouldn't be prepared anyway. And I think what the president is doing is actually preparing. He's getting ready. It is probably 60 days even in preparation once the vaccine is approved and ready. And I think that's exactly what the president wants to do. He wants to continue to prepare. But this president's not going to put out an unsafe vaccine. And he is going to listen to the people who are doing the research, doing the testing, and he's going to come through. And it's interesting because I agree with everyone who says we have to have a safe vaccine, but at the same time, we got to work as quickly as we can to get that vaccine in place. And I applaud the president for starting early, getting prepared, and being ready so that when the vaccine is ready, we can start administering it.
Yeah, we can't forget we're paying a hefty toll with the lockdowns and the economy, the spike in suicides, the health risks, the people that are not getting checked. So I think that's why these, again, the warp speed has been pushed. I want to get to a different topic. This is about not taking questions. In fact, we've seen VP pick Kamala Harris dodging a question for a reporter. I'm going to play this for you and then get your response to it. Here it is.
We are very honored, proud, and lucky to have Senator and soon-to-be Vice President Harris with us today. And I will pass it back over to you because I know you want to take some questions before you get out of here.
Oh, we're all set.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
We're all set. Thank you.
So why did you
Thank you, Paul. We're going to head out the same way we came.
I once
Thank
lived in Wisconsin. Do you know that? I did, yes.
Thank you, guys.
So why is it part of Wisconsin is part of my story?
Thank you, Paul. We're going to head out the same door. Thank you.
All right, so there's some banter at the end about Wisconsin, but bottom line, there weren't questions being taken saying they're all set. Laurie, you're a former advisor. Would you have advised her to take Kamala Harris and take questions, or was that the smart move from a campaigning perspective moving into the election season?
I'm being 100% honest that I could barely hear what was being said on there. So if you want to tell me what it was that she wasn't answering, I honestly couldn't hear it.
Well, so he basically, it wasn't a specific question. He was handing the mic to her to allow the reporters to go ahead and ask questions. And they said, no, thank you. We're all set. We appreciate it. Right at the end of the segment, giving the opportunity to be asked questions there and then shutting it down.
So as a former presidential campaign staffer, I would say that you usually have that worked out with the candidate and with the communications team, whether or not there's going to be a press avail afterwards or the candidate's going to take questions. Usually you have that worked out. What it seems to me, again, I'm hearing the B-roll playing through my ear here, was it sounded like maybe there wasn't that much communication, or in fact, the candidate wanted to take questions, and Kamala loves to interact with those voters, and I see her being so exuberant, being back out on the campaign trail. I see that. We can see that when she kind of peeks away her mask. We can see that big, energetic smile. I think she wanted to take questions, and perhaps the campaign staffer had plans otherwise to maybe go and run off to something else due to a tight schedule. Perhaps that's what's happened. But I don't think it's because she was trying to dodge a question. It looked like a pretty warm engagement to me.
Jim, your thoughts?
Well, I absolutely disagree. Look, I was on a national campaign for myself, and anytime somebody would ask a question, sure, there are campaign staffers who will say, don't answer the questions, get out of the way, don't. But in the end, you're on a campaign, and you should answer the questions, and you should be willing to take questions. That's one thing I got to applaud Donald Trump for. He takes any question thrown at him, and one of the things that I've said about Biden and Harris is they're running from questions, probably a strategy to not get themselves in trouble and not say the wrong thing. But in the end, answer the questions, talk to the people, get your positions out. You should know what they are. You should be willing to let the people know what you want to say or what you believe in. And I think right now the Biden-Harris ticket is avoiding that.
All right, we're going to see more to come. Both of them are traveling around now, again, after Labor Day, so you're going to see a lot more of that and a lot of questions being asked from both parties. And, of course, you're going to see the president tonight at 7 p.m. I appreciate both of you coming on and weighing in on this. Always great to get your reaction, your experience here on the show. That is Jim Renacci, Laurie Watkins. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Sean.
You got it.